1 on the hunt, Steve Elliot.
Steve, your services are no longer required. I'll need your badge and your company credit card. You're terminated as of today. That was me 5 years ago, taking a punch right to the solar plex. What was I gonna do? I'm out of work. After stewing for a while, I realized there were tools available to me that I had not been taking advantage of, and specifically, LinkedIn. Tonight, I'd like to share with you some tips and techniques that I learned along my journey of building a robust LinkedIn profile. And at the end of the speech, I'm going to challenge you with a big challenge. When I looked at my profile, I realized it was out of date. And worst of all, my picture was a duck-face selfie. This was not going to be good. So, look at your profile picture. That is what people are going to be drawn to when they're looking at your LinkedIn profile. Make it professional. And definitely, smile that smile. We don't want frowns here. We don't want your baby on your arm here. We don't want dogs sitting on your lap here. We want a professional, crisp, clean profile picture. The next thing that'll get you standing out on LinkedIn is your use of words. Now, what do I mean by that? LinkedIn has a search engine, and people can put in all kinds of different words. You need to know what are the key words in your industry that people would typically search for on LinkedIn. So in retail world, that would be things along the lines of sales and leadership and management. You want to put those things in your title so that when people are searching for you, they're finding you and you're not buried at the bottom of the heap. LinkedIn is a great tool. It will actually tell you how many times people are coming to view your profile. And when I started this journey 5 years ago, I was happy if I had one profile view a week. When you're in job hunt mode, that's not going to cut it. So how do you bump up your views? How do you get people engaged in your profile? The one tool that I've used is blogging. And I blog about professional things that are going on in my life. Now, I was lucky enough to catch on with Target after PetSmart. I thought I was lucky. We all know what happened to Target. And I soon found myself back on another job hunt. But when I blogged about Target from a team member perspective, which is what I had viewed from, that blog post was viewed by almost 400 people, who then went to look at my profile. That is the way to get profile views. Blogging is important, and it can be little things. It doesn't have to be big, grandiose articles. I blog about Toastmasters. I blog about leadership. Anything that may come to mind. Make it relevant again to your industry, and people will find you. And then, the power is when your followers, as they're called on LinkedIn, hit like or make a comment on that article, their followers will see that. And you'll find people will be reaching out to you from all over. I had people from China and from Japan looking at this profile or this blog from my Target experience. Which brings me to my other point. you've got to keep your LinkedIn profile relevant. And I saw this in true focus when Target made its announcement. For suddenly, all Target employees were scrambling to their LinkedIn and updating things that had happened years ago. Some hadn't even had Target on their profile and had to go and update that. You need to keep your LinkedIn profile always relevant, always fresh. And don't forget your Toastmasters experience. There are some great things that we do in Toastmasters that will really stand out on a profile in terms of things you've done, whether it be on the leadership track that Bob's already alluded to in this meeting, or whether it just be on your communication track. It's important stuff, and it is recognized. The Toastmasters brand is highly recognized in all industries. Finally, I need to tell you that you can't do everything sitting at a desk. So while blogging is good and keeping your profile relevant is good, you are also going to need to go out and network and meet people. Now, when I lost my job with Sears, I sound like I'm losing jobs left, right, and center. In those days, it was appropriate to handwrite a thank you note and mail it to the person. I have found in recent job searches, a lot of people, they don't give you that business card with an address. And so all you're left with is their electronic contact information. But that's when you need to follow up with a thank you email. Personalize it. Don't give form letters. You want to show that the meeting meant something to you and talk about what you gained. When that happens, the connection is strengthened, and that networking contact that you met for lunch may be your next boss, or may know your next boss. So please make sure when you reach out and meet that you follow up. Very important. So there's the 3 challenges that I have for you. Look at your LinkedIn profile. What does your selfie look like that's on that profile picture? What keywords are you using to show up in search engines? How are you generating profile views? Are you blogging? Are you liking and sharing articles that are of interest to you and people in your industry? And finally, if you are connecting with people, make it relevant, make it personal, strengthen that connection. If you do those things, your job hunt will not be stressful. Thank you.